I think people are seriously sleeping on controlling the SP-404 Mark II's effects with MIDI. I'm going to show you what I've figured out so far and let you know what I want to continue to figure out as soon as I shout out today's patron. And that shout out goes to Kimberly Graciano. Thank you so very much for the support. Let's get started. So as you can see, we are back at the SP-404 Mark II, and I've got a couple MIDI controllers here. I've got the Cynito TempoPad C16, as well as the Morningstar MC6 Pro. Now, a few weeks ago, I did a sponsored video on the Cynito TempoPad C16 showing it in the live rig with the SP-404, and I showed how I had some samples mapped to these pads, also some program change stuff. I showed mapping effects, and I talked about how you can just program this thing like on the fly on the device itself, which is really great. Physical MIDI out, battery power, all of those things still ringing true. This is still crushing it in my live rig for me. I'm really enjoying using it. I did, however, mention that one downside is that you can't set anything that sends CCs to send a specific CC value. And the reason I wanted to send specific CC values is because that is how the SP-404 Mark II actually switches effects via MIDI. But I do have something that can send specific CC values on a trigger actuation, whatever you want to call it, and that's my MC6 Pro here. Now, you'll see I've actually named my 6 buttons here 6 different effects that I want on the SP-404 Mark II. People don't realize you can actually trigger any effect on any bus via MIDI on the SP-404 Mark II. You can turn it on, you can turn it off, you can actually select which effect. Like if I hold down MFX and go over all of these effects, each one of these can be turned on or off via MIDI. Of course, one at a time per bus, but you don't have to go diving for it like this. If you go to Roland's website, you can find the MIDI implementation chart and then find the effects list, where it lists all the different CC values you need to trigger each effect. So the way I have this set up is the top row on the MC6 Pro are the effects that I want to be able to quickly pull up for bus 1. And then the bottom row are the effects that I quickly want to pull up for bus 2. I still have some learning to do on the MC6 Pro. I haven't really used what they call toggle states before. So if I hit this, it says filter state on, off. I'm not sure why the word filter pops up there. I just need a bit more experience in making sure that these always line up here. These labels line up with what's going on the 404 itself. One downside of this setup is that the 404 doesn't give you a bunch of feedback on what is on or off without you pushing the bus effects screen here, or button, and seeing the screen. So like you can see the effects looper's on, now it's off. Time control delay, bus 1, filter bus 2, there we go. So a lot of it is just going to be a learning curve. However, we can take this a step further because like I've shown in previous videos, you can map the actual 3 control knobs up here to MIDI CC knobs. And if your effect has a second page of parameters, you can map those as well. However, I find that I typically only use the first 3. So the way I've got this mapped right here is I've got control 1 for bus 1 mapped right here, control 2 for bus 2 mapped right here, and control 3 for bus 3 mapped right here, and then control 1 for bus 2 right here, control 2 for bus 2 right here, control 3 for bus 2 right here. That's pretty much it. So let's do a little play in here. I've just got the makings of a track set up. There's our stopper. You can see that's pretty simple. Let's turn scatter on for bus 1. Now these are controlling bus 1. So this is going to be the type of the scatter effect. This is going to be the depth. And this is going to be master on and off for the scatter effect. I typically leave this on, but if I really needed to quickly, I could turn it off. You can hear the stopper doing its thing. on the drums. So as you can see, I could just pull stuff up really quick on here and then instantly have those controls. I just have to remember top row is bus 1, bottom row is bus 2. Again, I am really hoping that Synito updates this so we can send individual CC numbers from these buttons here, or I believe it's the transport buttons too can also be configured to whatever you want. That would be so cool. Right now I just have a couple program change buttons right here, and if you watched the video on this past Monday, you'll know I've got the blank pattern right here. And then right here, I've got the first main pattern. Then I'll send it back to the blank one with this button. So right now I hear a click, you don't. I'm controlling two different effects at once. On two different buses. Messing with the DJ effects now, the looper. There we go. The kick drum is not on any bus. Oh, I thought I stopped the pattern. Here it comes. Ha! So sometimes I still get lost. Keep in mind this is all very new to me. Oh, I accidentally set the filter to high pass. There we go. So I gotta be careful with some of these controls sometime. I know this hasn't been the most, impressive demo, but I just started working with this, 3 hours ago, and I was like, I need to throw this on camera because there's a lot going on here, and hopefully you can see that with enough coordination, enough rehearsal, and enough proper programming, there's going to be some really cool stuff you can do. I mean, this is a foot pedal for one thing, but imagine if I could also trigger these via these buttons down here, or something like the that motorized controller that also has the labels. I forget who makes it. Roto Control, something like that. Especially, it's got those screens for each parameter, so you could properly label things. I feel that would work really well in this setup as well. Who knows? Maybe that's something I try later down the line. But yeah, for now, this is so much fun. Still learning the coordination. I'll get it. Still learning, still figuring it out, but the potential here is pretty insane, especially when you consider everything is just coming from the 404 Mark II, and it's really solid. Like, I haven't had any crashes or anything like that. Any time where I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound like it's doing what it should, it's been because I've had like conflicting MIDI messages or something along those lines. It's never been the 404's fault. It's been completely user error. Which, that's the best kind of error because that's the easiest error to fix. So yeah, I just think people are really sleeping on what the 404 Mark II can do effects-wise, especially when combined with a couple of capable MIDI controllers. As I was just jamming there, I kept thinking, man, now I really want to check out the roto control. I'll have to do some research and see if it can do what I want here. I even think, because this is going on the floor, I think the roto control could go like right here, depending on how big it is. And that would be pretty potent. But of course, speaking of potent combos, MIDI controller-wise, these two do work very well together, and I'll be interested to see what I can do once this hits the floor, and I start, actually working on it like that. Keep in mind, you can have up to, I think it's 128 presets, maybe it's 256, but there's so many banks of presets here that I can scroll through. Like... There's so much. I've still got the looper controls for the 404 on here too, which I believe are still working. Yeah, they still work just fine. So that's pretty cool. Then we page right over to the effects. I can also change through the pages of these with an external MIDI controller. I could do that with these buttons here on the Cynito. There's a lot of potential here, and I can't wait to keep working with this pairing and find out more of what is indeed possible. I do hope you found this video informative or at least entertaining. If you did, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike. That's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.